So I'm going on my YouTube feed, and I see all these videos about Cynthia G and Robert Perkins. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? So I click on a video. Cynthia G says she's going to address this, and I'm like, what is she addressing? And stuff came out that she might allegedly or is pregnant with another YouTuber, Robert Perkins, who was also a famous, popular YouTuber. And in the video, Cynthia G never denied that she wasn't. She's hinted in one part of the video said, well, this person wouldn't know that if I was still pregnant. So she never denied that she was pregnant. But she did come on here and said the stuff that was said in that conversation she had with a YouTuber named Cheryl. If some of you, know Cheryl now, first time I've ever saw Cheryl, she was on The Advice Show. That's the first time I've ever saw her. Cheryl, she was on The Advice Show and talked to Phil. And then from there, I went on her YouTube channel. She had a YouTube channel, and I watched her YouTube channel, and it was basically talking about white supremacy and the same thing Cynthia G did and Phil did. So that's what they did. They talked about the same stuff on YouTube. Okay, now there was conversations between her and Cheryl, supposedly. And Cynthia G never said that the stuff wasn't true, and she said some of the stuff she said was out of anger. So what I'm hearing that is true because she is pregnant because she never denied that the stuff was false. So that's what's getting from me, and basically all but confirmed that she is pregnant. Now I'm going to go through the tweet. Now I'm not going to go through now I'm not going to go. I'm gonna go through the message. I'm not going to go through Cheryl's tweets because I'm not going to do that. I believe in, if I don't go through people's messages, stuff like that, their personal stuff. Y'all want to go through her tweets, you seek that out on your own. But I'm going to go through the messages and I'm going to talk about this because, quite frankly, at the end of the day, I don't give a damn. But I'm going to humor y'all and show you the stuff anyway, so that gives y'all something to talk about. Because all this live stream stuff on here making 4 hours, I don't need to make a 4 hour live stream. I really don't care. But there's going to be a lesson learned from this. So I'm going to show you the tweets, the messages right now. Okay, so this is where the first tweet start off. It starts off, I guess he's talking about The Advice Show, saying his ex-wife isn't black. No, his wife said she was not black, she was Mexican. And then you know what Cheryl said, and then Cynthia G replies again, what it sounds like, basically what it sounds like, he has never been with a black woman. And you go, and Cheryl says what she says, and you know, I don't agree with saying he should get death threats or somebody should, I don't agree with having people going out there and harming him and his family. I don't agree with that because they have nothing to do with that. Okay. And Cynthia goes around and saying that, you know, she is extremely disappointed. Okay. Now this, and it says, one of the messages says that she was pregnant, 6 weeks pregnant, saying that it's weird because you and I were doing that video and I was saying I don't know if she wanted a kid. And then she brings up birth control, and like I said, you can read the stuff there. Like I said, I'm not going to read out word for word on this. I don't really need to. And then, it says her and Rob talked about having a child multiple times and told me even if she did get pregnant before we planned, he would be cool and just take responsibility. He said he will not resent me. He is doing the exact opposite of what he said he would do. And she talks about him being a good father. She's saying getting pregnant was not a decision from her. It was something that she tried to avoid, at the very least, until she put her book out. Okay, so we're talking about putting out a book. So she didn't plan to get pregnant until she put the book out. Okay. If I hadn't felt like Rob was a dusty beta male, I wouldn't have spoken to him, let alone had sex with him. And I told him that based on his reaction. And she said she was completely surprised. The first month she was there was no condom, no birth control use. And she said she didn't get pregnant. Then she said she got pregnant during the month that she was taking the pill and trying to avoid pregnancy. So there again, she and Rob were met fooling around. Okay. All right. So what? Okay. And here's some other stuff. And then this is what Cheryl wrote. Yeah, I had to ask because it's a lot. Single motherhood is no joke, especially if you don't have people around you. And just dealing with Rob for the next 18 years isn't going to be the best. Just being honest, a child needs their father. Rob will not be able to give this child the attention it really will need, regardless of regardless if he's there or not, because he's already stretched thin. You yourself aren't really ready either because you have unprotected sex with a beta male. The very thing you preach so hard about, it's concerning. I'm not saying you won't be the best mother you can be. I am sure you will, but is your best its best? And she goes on to say, I just think at this place in your lives and what we know, these type of situations should be below us. I really do want the best for you. You are a nice girl. I just have to always keep it real with everyone around me because I don't like to sit back and watch my people make, poor decisions. Okay, and then at, I guess Cynthia G says, and you'll become a single mom. She said her mom was single at 36. There's no way to prevent becoming a single mother. And being one isn't indicative of sexual irresponsibility since the man determines whether someone is a single mother. And, this is saying she's going to file a lawsuit against Tyreek and Tommy for, I guess, vile rumors that they spread. And, you know, Rob, and then she talks about her being terrified. And she talked about he was being dramatic, so she didn't talk to him. And then it goes on, he's talking about he's traumatized and didn't want a kid. His dumb reaction is enough to make me vomit with all this nausea. I'm so sick almost all of the time. It is because I don't want to bring a child into a system of white supremacy. Oh, here we go. I I knew it. You don't want to bring a child in a system of white supremacy. Well, let me tell you something. And I'll be honest, because you have a lot of quote unquote pro blacks. That's all they talk about on YouTube all the time. White supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. Everything they talk about is based on white supremacy. If something goes wrong, they'll blame it on white supremacy. Okay, does white supremacy and racism exist? Yes, it does. But at the end of the day, is 500 black men in the inner cities getting killed by white folks every day? I'm just asking that. Because mostly the black people who have been stabbed in the back, who've been burned, who've been killed, basically has been done by other black people. That's what it has been done to. It hasn't been done by white folks. See, people put out the narrative that Every time a black person gets killed, it's always by a white person. Now, granted, there have been lynchings, there have been black people that have been killed at the hands of white racist white folks. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying it's happened because I know people are gonna say, "Oh, you a coon because you defended." No, I'm not. I'm just speaking facts. But people want to sit there and they want to embellish and act like white people are killing black people every day when it is not the case. It is not the case. Okay? Because a lot of black people aren't screwed by white folks. Basically, they're screwed by, other black people. And I can go around and I can confirm that because people have told me, man, it's not white people are burning me or trying to get over on me. It's other black people that are getting over on me. It's crazy. That's what it is. So, okay, whatever. Okay. And it says And then it says, will most likely come in a few days. Rob said he mostly cares about the baby being healthy and that it would have been a boy, but he decided that he didn't want to come because of how I talk about black men. He cracked himself up with that one. And then she goes on to say, then you got these dusty beta males enabling black women that defend the BS. He said, yeah, after I put my book out, I am getting away from YouTube. I'll still put out videos on Patreon for those who want them. But she says she believes it's a complete loss because the men are completely conquered and not a threat to white supremacy at all at this point. It's really sad and it's really discouraging. And then she talks about, yeah, that's true. It won't be hitting for much longer, I'm sure, especially the way it looks like him, which in many ways is sure well his children has his future, especially his son. I do most of my lives and videos off camera, so that wouldn't be hard. I guess she talking about hiding her pregnancy, and then she said, talks about her sister. She will be raised by a Leo and a Aries. I think she will be Rob's only baby that's born in the summer. She will actually be closer in age to her cousins than her siblings. Hey, her younger siblings will be 6 when she is born, and I guess this is the sonograms and everything like that, and you know, but these are the tweets, you know. Sorry, but this is what it is, and what I'm gonna say about this is, look, when you go out there and you meet people off of YouTube and you start befriending them and you don't know them for too long and you start confiding in them after years and years, after a short period of time, I'm sorry, you don't know that person like that. I don't care who they are. I don't go around and confiding in somebody like that because you don't know what their intentions are. Now, I don't know why she put the stuff out there. I don't know why this woman did what she did. I don't know. So they must have had a falling out or something like that. We've only gotten Cynthia's part of the story. Cheryl really didn't tell why she did it. But like I said, I'm not confiding on anybody like that that I met off of YouTube. I'm just not doing that. And then another thing I'm gonna talk about. For those people who says that she's a hypocrite and she duped us all, stop worshiping black YouTubers. They're on YouTube. Some of y'all go out of your mind worshiping these people. And they talk some fly stuff and y'all sit there and they sunk you right in. Now, Rob probably spit some game to her and she fell for it. It got her pumped up, it got her wet, and bam, that's what happens. It's all game. out here. And I've said this before. I'm gonna do a video on that. It's gonna be talking about game and everything like that. It's gonna be a relationship video, but it's gonna be, a few days later. But he spit some game to her. His game was tight enough for her to get reeled into him, and they end up fooling around, and then this happens. So y'all let these YouTubers game y'all. Y'all let these YouTubers spit game to you, and y'all fall right through the trap. Y'all fall right through the trap. I'm not saying that you shouldn't watch them. I'm saying watch them, see what they have to say, but don't worship the ground that they walk on. Now, Cynthia G is under a lot of scrutiny, and she tried to explain herself, but like I said, I will give her this type of credit because she never denied what she said. She never denied it. So I'll give her credit for that. Because at the end of the day, you would say, "Oh, I don't know what she's talking about." She never denied it. Now, I'm not saying if it's true or not. Some people say it's not true. I'm not saying. I'm just going by what was said. And at this point, it is what it is. But there's a lesson to be learned. Is stop for these people who were big and hardcore and diehard Cynthia G fans, you know. And now you're looking, well, how could she say this and do this? But at the end of the day, you worship these YouTubers when you shouldn't be worshiping nobody at all. And now she's talking about putting a book out. Hmm. Okay. There you have it. Like the video, comment on it, and subscribe.